Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Midgard Golf. And we're still out here today at Red Hawk Ridge Golf Course in Castle Rock, Colorado. Just loving this day here on this Jim Ing designed masterpiece. Absolutely brilliant. And boy, are we kicking some butt out here so far. 300 par so far. So, yeah, pretty grand. And, I mean, that's all there is to say about it, right? We're just playing lights out today. So on to this back nine to see if we can't continue that and have ourselves an epic round. And if you're liking this content, please throw us a like and subscribe. You know, we would love to see you back on the channel, or back visiting the channel anyway. And if you didn't know, if this is the first video that you're watching, every 100 subscribers, I give away a Midgard Golf hat. And there's only two ways to get a Midgard Golf hat, one of which is to be featured in a video, and the other is to win one of those giveaways. So if you do end up with one, then you will be one of very, very few out there who does have one. So pretty rare commodity. And then at 1,000 subscribers, I think I'm going to do some kind of other wardrobe thing. I keep saying shirts, but then I was thinking, you know what, maybe vests would be cool. Maybe a rain jacket. I don't know. Something. It's going to be cool, though. It's going to be cooler when we get to 1,000. And then at 10,000, I keep saying that I'm going to give away golf bags thereafter. So, yeah. And I don't know what brand yet. I'll probably put that up to a vote or something on a video by the time we get to 10,000 subscribers. And then whatever everyone wants, that's what I'll likely get. So anyway, back to the round here. This 10th hole, downhill, par 4. And we're playing it from one up from the tips. That's the gold tees. So for us, 377 yards, tipping out at 412 yards. Playing downhill pretty much the entire way. So pretty cool. But that said, yeah, you definitely want to take heed about your drive. If you kind of hug the left side of the fairway, that'll be kind of directly in front of you there. The like kind of native fescue riverbed is going to sneak up on you real quick and is definitely gettable for driver. That's for sure. If you do happen to hit a cut down there, the fairway does extend a pretty long way out to the right. But, I mean, you really get nothing for it as it skinnies up pretty drastically all the way out there onto that tip of the fairway. And you're still going to have to hit it over the riverbed anyway to get up on the green. To try to drive it over that riverbed, I mean, yeah, good luck to you, my son. I mean, first of all, that's an epic drive to make it that far in the first place. Second of all, even if you do, I mean, you've only got a tiny, tiny sliver of fairway and a little bit of rough, and then outside of that, I mean, you're pretty well screwed. So this hole, I hate to say it, but it's just smart to lay up with like a 250-yard shot, something like that. But, if 250 yards is your drive, then by all means, knock it out of the park. But, yeah, and nothing against anybody whose drive is, 250, if that's your normal driving distance. But, yeah, that's about the yardage I'm saying that you want to be able to place it anywhere out in that fairway and have a nice, easy shot up onto the green. So far as bunker trouble is concerned, there's a fairway bunker over there off to the right side of the fairway that you'll be able to see pretty clearly from the tee box. And once you make your way up to the green, there's a a greenside bunker that's kind of to the front right portion of the green, and that's about it. So, without further ado, I've got the 4-iron in hand, and Will is going to float a nice easy driver out there and kind of take the risk shot. So let's give it a whack and see what we can do. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the 11th hole and the first par 3 for this back nine for us. Playing for us at 157 yards and tipping out at 178. So pretty healthy par 3 here, I should say. Yeah, that said, so far as what you're staring down here, there's a little bit of force clearance, although it looks a little more intimidating off the tee box, but it's really not that bad. You can kind of bail out pretty well anywhere to the right and be just fine if you come up short a bit. But if you do go for the green itself, which it's a par 3, so of course that's going to be your goal, then yeah, you're going to have to probably play it right over that kind of sliver of forced carry. That said, it's not all that vicious over there, so even if you do end up in that stuff, good chance you're going to find your ball. Once you do get up to the green, there's just one single large bunker right in front there of the hourglass-shaped green, and yeah, that's really all you got to worry about. So far as kind of guard support to the rear and the sides, as you can see, plenty of backboard support and sideboard support. So amphitheater green yet again. So that's nice. So my advice, yeah, club up, make and then swing easy. Make sure that you make the distance because there's really no reason to really worry about it. So if you happen to smoke one a little bit long, you're probably going to hit that backboard back there, and drop you back down towards the putting surface anyway. So you might as well just, yeah, favor the long miss rather than the short miss and try to muscle up on a shorter club. No reason for that. So I have the 9-iron in hand, and I'm doing exactly that, going for the back of the green. So let's give it a rip and see what we can do.
That way slightly at the end?
Guys, it should be left or right.
Yeah, look, the hole looks like that.
Wait a minute, is this me?
Yeah.
Bridgie, right? Yep. Which? Hey.
Win. Oh yeah! Nice putt.
Here you go, Bubba.
Nice putt out.
Thank you. Sure. There we go. Nice.
All right, ladies and gents, and here we are off to the 12th hole. And another par 4 for us here. Opposite of the last one, playing uphill the entire way. For us, 345 yards and tipping out at 374. But, like I said, playing uphill, well, kind of slightly uphill. Level-ish. But definitely playing a little bit longer than the number, that's for sure. So for us, probably playing more around 370 or so, 380. But anyway, it is what it is. So, I mean, kind of an intimidating shot here. You definitely don't really have a safe miss. You've got, a lot of bunker trouble over there off to the right. One very long bunker, kind of short, and then one all the way down there, down the to the end of the fairway before the cart path kind of crosses over the fairway. And then another one kind of lateral with that other long one off to the left side. And then once you make it to the green, Yeah, there's another very long kind of squiggly bunker that guards the front left side of the green there, kind of the ovalesque shaped green. But yeah, so I mean, obviously, you don't want to be in those bunkers because, yeah, that's kind of a long shot out of a bunker to get up on the green from there. But it's certainly better than being OB left, where you've got all those very tall kind of bushes over there that will certainly chew up your ball. So if you gotta miss, I mean, yeah, miss to the right because that's really the only safe place. Even if it might end you up in a unfavorable circumstance, at least you won't be taking a stroke. So there's that. So I've got the driver in hand, and I'm going to attempt to hit a cut here. And, well, Will's got the driver in hand as well, doing the same. So let's give it a rip and see what we can do.
Sit.
It's bouncing too much.
Sit.
Oh, well, might work out.
Sit. There you go. That's, hey. Shut up for par? Yeah. There we go. Yeah. All right. Oh, safe. Gracias. Yep.
All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the 13th hole and our first par 5 of 3 par 5s for this back nine here. There's also 3 par 3s. It's a 3-3-3 configuration, which you know I love courses like that. 3 par 4s, 3 par 3s, and 3 par 5s. So super cool. I love it. But anyway, nominally short this hole is, playing for us at 500 yards and only tipping out at 508. So we might as well be playing the tips on this hole from where we are here. But that said, and while it's, you know, like I said, nominally short, oh boy, the hole plays, I mean, as you can see, straight uphill. So, yeah, playing a lot longer than that. Probably playing for us at around 580 to 600, somewhere around there. And, well, the tips, you know, well, 8 yards longer than that. But anyway, yeah, it's a long hole just because of the slope of it here. But yeah, anyway, other than that, no bunker trouble to worry about, no water, no nothing. But yeah, plenty of high shrubbery over there off to the left side. The right side has much of the same, but it's definitely more sparse over there off to the right. So I'm saying that if you're trying to choose between a shape to hit, then a fade is once again the better pick. Because even if you do end off, excuse me, into the brushy stuff out there, yeah, much better chance that you'll find your ball off to the right than you ever will off to the left. So I've got the driver in hand. Will's got the driver in hand. It's a par 5, pretty obvious. And we're just going to try to rip it up there and put it somewhere in play. And yeah, probably have a fairly long shot to get up on this green. So let's give it a rip and check it out. Alright. That's what I'm trying to do.
Oh, nice. That's that thing's stuck on the dime.
Yeah. Alright, go for it, bro. Little low chip stopper.
It was fast. It bounced once and just slammed on the brake.
Did it like Scotty, baby. All right. We are up there. Yeah. Yeah, I walked it up. I'm still recording. Yeah. That's a bird. Alright. Yeah. Should tap it in with the club head cover on. There it is. That's an up and down all day. All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the 14th hole. Oh, you gotta love birdieing that big old long par 5. How about that? That is some serious business right there. One of the best kind of short, low runners, low like short stoppers, low spinners. That's it. That's the word I'm looking for that I think I've ever hit. So that was really cool getting up on the green like that. I wish the camera could have seen the ball stop. That would have been really cool action, but hope Will's description of it was good enough for you. So anyway, this hole here, the second of our 3 par 3s on this back 9 here, and just a beautiful hole it is indeed. Yeah, going downhill a little bit, playing for us at 162 yards, and tip it out at 195. So, yeah, pretty lengthy. But, yeah, downhill probably playing for us at more like 150. So, yeah, not all that bad. But that said, I mean, you've got a tee box, you've got a green, and then force carry pretty much the whole way there. You do have a sliver of fairway length grass right before the green over there off to the right-hand side. And then the left is guarded almost entirely by a big, long, squiggly bunker. So not all that intimidating of a bunker, though. So if you do happen to end up in there, I'm not really worried about your chances of getting out of there. So, yeah, not the end of the world if you do happen to end up in there, but obviously not desirable. It's a par 3, right? We want that green. This kind of like amoebic hourglass figure green. It's, you know, there's a large bulb up front and then a smaller bulb in the back. So if the pin is tucked all the way in the back for you on your day that you should be out here playing this course, well, sucks to be you. That's the sucker pin back there for sure. So anyway, I have the pitching wedge in hand, thinking that it's going to play about $150 or so, and I believe Will's got the same in hand. So let's give it a rip and see if we can't stab this big, beautiful green. Let's check it out.
edge. Same fucking thing.
All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the 15th hole, the number 2 handicap on this course, hardest hole on the back 9. And a big par 4 at that. 465 yards for us, tipping out at 528 yards. So monstrously long, and that's no doubt what makes this the hardest hole on the back 9 here. Just the length. But that said, it plays pretty well downhill, so probably for us playing more like 410, maybe 400 on the number. Maybe a little longer than that. But anyway, not as bad as it would seem, and certainly playing under 500 from the tips there. That said, it's one of the most inviting fairways on the golf course, in my opinion. Big, wide open fairway. And if you pound it down there far enough, you've actually got the 16th hole off to the right that you could bail out to as well. So you really do have to nuke one to get it all the way down there. But, I mean, it's a long, long par 4, so nuking one is absolutely what you want to be going for here, that's for sure. And when we tend to nuke one, as long as we don't over-rotate, what tends to happen? A fade. So, if you do put a good strike on it and just rip it all the way down there, fair chance if you're a, decent lengthy ball hitter there, that you will make it to that bailout area down there in the rough in between this hole and number 16. Once you approach the green there, you've got no bunker trouble to worry about. So not really an amphitheater green, but you do have a sliver of backboard support there, so not a ton to worry about. I would definitely say the good club here would be whatever one is longer for the yardage that you're staring down when you're about to attack the green. But yeah, I would definitely seek on the second shot to miss to the left, because that kind of little sort of valley down there off to the right, yeah, no reason to flirt with that. So if you do happen to miss to the right, then your angle of attack onto the green for your second shot should actually make that kind of maybe a partially forced carry, but should largely take it out of play for you. So yeah, that right angle is just a good angle to hit this green from. Left angle kind of puts it back into, from the left side of the fairway, right? Kind of puts that sort of ravine over there into like the fade or long miss. And I don't know. I don't like that nearly as much as I do having it being just a little bit of forced carry. So yeah, is what it is. Driver in hand, let's smoke this one down there as far as we can. Let's check it out.
Just take that. Make it for last hole. Yeah. Not only are we off the bogey train, we're on the birdie train now.
All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the 16th hole and the second of our 3 par 5s to play on this here back 9. So, yep, absolutely brilliant looking hole here. You got to love birdie and the number 2 on the last hole there, right? I just got to mention that the number 2 handicap is what I mean. Yeah, and if you'll recall, if you watched the front 9, we birdied the number 1 as well. So we successfully birdied the 2 hardest holes on the course. Got to love that. And shout out to Will. He made both of those putts. So, and both of them epic indeed. I mean, the number 1 handicap putt was seriously epic. But yeah, that last one on the last hole on number 15 there was no slouch either. So, onto this hole here. Not nearly as inviting of a fairway as the previous hole. And yeah, playing for us at 513 and tipping out at 571, but uphill pretty much the entire way, so probably playing a good 40 to 50 yards longer than that. You've got some bailout to the right if you happen to absolutely jack one up, but that's going to be a real short play out there to stay in that grass and certainly know where you want to be, because that's going to make this an incredibly long hole if that's as far as you get. After that, you've got a little bit of bunker support, I'll call it, this long squiggly bunker that kind of guards you from going into the native fescue down the right side there. And then after that, excuse me, the fairway widens up a little bit to the right, so that's nice, and that's my target for my landing area, especially since that's kind of my preferred angle onto the green on this hole. So, yep, driver in hand. Let's give it a rip and see what we can do. Oh, before we do, once you make it to the green, no worries, no bunkers anywhere. You got a little sideboard support off to the right and kind of a little backboard support off to the back there, but not much. So I'd really try to stick this green and not go all that far over. But all in all, a friendly green to attack, so I wouldn't be all that concerned about it. So let's give it a rip and see what we can do.
much either.
Like I finessed that one.
Yeah. Still ran past.
Okay.
That is fast.
Yeah, it is. All right.
Oh.
All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the 17th hole and the final par 3 4-hour round out here at Red Hawk Ridge in Castle Rock, Colorado. So, and a beautiful one it is indeed. Probably not as pretty as the last par 3, but still a pretty one. You still get a pretty good view of the of Castle Rock out in the background there, and well, I like it. Nice hole to kind of guide you into the 18th, I would say. So anyway, yeah, a shorter one than the last one, indeed. 134 for us and 155 for the tips there. But that said, not playing uphill or downhill, pretty level, so pretty well playing that number. It's a massive green. So, yeah, I mean, you should have no worries staring this shot down and just saying, yeah, I'm going to stick that green. And you've got a little bit of backboard support off to the left and then quite a bit more off to the right. And then you've got kind of that opening where the backboard support kind of slopes off there kind of to the center left. So, yeah, I would say right side is definitely the good side. Miss there. If you miss hard over there off to the right, it's going to be a downhill kind of awkward chip for you, but certainly better than being in one of the 9 pot bunkers that line the entire hole from the front left there, right after the forced carry, all the way down to the back of the green. So crawling all the way up the left side there. So any one of those bunkers, I certainly wouldn't want to be in them. Yeah, that's going to be one seriously vertical shot you're going to have to put out of any of those bunkers to get up on the green. Depending on which one you happen to get in, yeah, it could be kind of a lengthy bunker shot as well, which is no fun. So, especially for a greenside bunker. So, miss to the right. That's my advice. But it's a par 3, right? And it's 134 yards. So we're not thinking miss anywhere. We're thinking stab this green. So I got the 52-degree wedge in hand. Let's give it a rip and try to do just that. Let's check it out.
Get up there.
Is it uphill a little?
Gimme. Yeah, it is uphill a bit, but
Did you guys do that?
no, we did not do that.
I'm not a degenerate kid.
I freaking, I freaking brushed the ground with that putt again. Stupid. I don't know why I did that.
Filter distance a little.
It did.
Different like a foot movement. Try to nuzzle it. Exact same
It's just
shot.
the same thing. You're on my mark.
Oh, Lord. Only 2 balls left.
All right.
Put her in. Go ahead.
Yep. Nice. 3, baby.
All right, ladies and gents, and here we are heading off to the 18th hole and the final par 5 for our day here. Final hole, final everything. So, and with that, I want to thank you all again so much for joining us for another episode here at Midgard Golf. We hope to see you back at some point, or, check out some of the other content that we have up on the channel now. A little over 200 videos and just a ton of courses from all over the western United States here. So super cool, and I hope you find a bunch of stuff that you like and some ideas for some trips that you might want to go on and whatnot. So anyway, thanks again, and if you're liking this content, again, do us a solid and throw us a like and throw us a subscribe, and yeah, we would appreciate it. So this last hole here, they also call it the 18th handicap on the course. And you know what? I got to firmly disagree with that. Yeah, I mean, that water down there off to the right-hand side, that is absolutely in play, especially, if you're a big hitter. So you've got that to worry about off the tee here. And then you've got a huge bunker, one of the biggest bunkers I've ever seen, that crawls all the way up the left side of that lake and then, kind of skirts around the lake and guards the entire front of the green. And then you've got one more kind of lone pot bunker over there off to the left of the green. Unless you happen to sort of lay up on your second shot and not go for it in two, then that bunker will be, from your perspective, the front of the green. So the green is very well guarded on all sides of attack there, I should say. And then once you go off the back of the green, there's kind of some backboard support, but the green is actually on kind of a plateau. So the ground behind the green kind of dips down into a little valley. It's rough length grass, so you're going to be fine. And then it crawls back up. So you could end up with a really, really awkward lie back there if you don't stab this green. But so anyway, yeah, it's one of the best guarded greens on the course, like I said before. And yeah, the fairway, I mean, it's certainly wide enough to hit driver, and you've got enough rough length off to the right there to bail out. But yeah, I don't think it's the 18th handicap. I'd probably put this hole somewhere in the mid to low teens. Yeah, maybe even 12 or sub that. But anyway, I'd have to do some soul searching and think about that, where I'd put it. But they are calling it the easiest hole on the course, so that's what they said. That said, here, like I said, right is definitely the bailout here, and it'll put you the closest to the green in order to go for it in two, which of course I always want to do on a par 5. So to the right is where I'm trying to go. And, well, you're not going to see where my drive ends up because we're not going to take my drive, a little foreshadowing here, but Will's drive, what you're about to see, is one of the most monstrous drives we've ever had on the channel. Matter of fact, the only one to beat him was Jeremy's drive on the 10th hole at Rain Dance National. So if you want to see a real serious beast of a drive, then I think he hit it right around 500 yards. Yeah, on that downhill par 4 there. Put us about 100 yards away from the green. And then the third longest is mine on the first video ever that I ever vlogged at 4 Mile Ranch, and I hit one 400 on the button. So yeah, Will officially joins the 400 plus yard club here with this drive you're about to see. So anyway, without further ado, I've yapped enough. Let's give it a rip and see what we can do on this par 5. Oh, but I was going to say, my drive did end up perfectly safe and exactly where I wanted it, off to the right side. But yeah, we're not going to take it. So anyway, on to the hole. And thank you guys again. And as always, have a wonderful day.
God, I lost it.
Turn it left.
Left of the trap?
Oh yeah. In the fairway.
Nice.
I mean, it could have hit the rough on the left there, but it's like, it didn't hook.
Okay.
It had a very baby draw. Started in the center, was just barely drawing left.
Okay.
So it should be okay. It should be safe.
Perfect, dude. Well, be the number. Be the number, be the number, be the number. Yep.
Go, dude.
Eagle putt on the way.
A little bit.
A little bit. Exactly what we like.
Wow,
Does break a lot.
that was pretty much the line.
Just slow it.
Finishing off with the tweeter.
Great round. 68.
Yeah.